we jump into this video, if you haven't signed up for the FroKnowsPhoto email list, you can do so right here. Just put your name, email address in the box, hit send it, and I will send you a free guide to capturing motion in low-light situations. Enjoy this video. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and what you are about to see is a day that I spent photographing, or just a show that I spent photographing, another photographer named Adam Elamakias. Some of you guys may already know him. I spent the morning interviewing him for Raw Talk, and then the evening for A Day to Remember, which is the band that he's out on the road with currently. I got a pass. He gave me a laminate to spend time shooting the show, but I decided to photograph him. He's the photographer. He's what interested me for that. The band, nice guys, went out to dinner with them. They were awesome, really, really cool guys. But I wanted to have a task. I wanted to do something. I wanted to capture a certain type of image that night. And what I went for there is to photograph the photographer, which is cool when you get to photograph. You have a task. And I would follow him around. I would see where he was, and I was there to capture that. So what I've done here is I've gone through in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images that I think tell the story of the shoot, including the best of the best from that shoot that I think there were. But after this, I believe it was 47 keeper images, and I show you how I edited all of them. So you get to see that, and that's at the end of this. I didn't want to do that just straight up as a video because that may be kind of boring, but if you enjoy that type of video, if you enjoy watching me edit the photos in Lightroom and telling you why I'm doing some things and give you some more insight, in depth into those images, let me know, and I will continue to make these because I'm editing my photos anyway. I might as well hit record and talk about it. If you guys enjoy it, I will continue to do it. So here, let's look at these images. This is Adam, bald and all, and I thought this was a quality image showing him in the pit. It shows him in the pit, and he's checking his flash because he was shooting with the flash, not the whole show, but setting it up to do some things on a monopod that you'll see. So my goal with the 7 images that I picked is to give you a well-rounded story. We've got a photo from the pit. We've got photos from stage. We've got photos from backstage. We've got all different types of things, wide angles, tight shots, and then moving into something like this, which when you see me edit it, I re-edited it after the fact to take out more yellow because I like this. He's smiling. He's laughing. He's observing. He's getting ready to put the monopod up, which you'll see a little later, and I think this tells a cool story of what's going on. We have a tighter shot here, we tell the story with a wider one, and then we go up onto the stage. He's across the way. I love distractions in images like this. For me, it draws me into the image. It draws me into the subject. Now, this was a tougher image shot at 20,000 ISO, but I liked him on the other side of the stage using the 70-200. The color is a little wonky, but that's the lighting because he's not even in any light. There's no light on him, really. And I didn't like the black and white, but you'll hear more about that when I edit it. Now, this is not the strongest of the strong, but it shows the rest of what's going on. You've got the wide, the tight, the medium, on stage. Now you've got him at the front of the stage shooting where everybody's checking the lead singer out in one of these hamster balls. You can see the entire crowd. If he went out into the middle, I would have gone out into the middle and shot him shooting the guy because that's what I would have gone for. But I thought that this was there for a part of the story because, as you know, I like telling photo stories. Another sitting on the stage, a tighter shot. Love the black and white. You can read on this says Troc. The Troc, which I still have it on my hand, by the way, too, from the other night. But it's just a cool black and white. It's tighter on him. But this, to me, is the shot. This is the one that when I leave a night and I come home and I'm going through the images, I go, that's the one. But let me just show you something in case you don't stay around till later. This is where it started, not bad exposure for where he's sitting, and that's where it finished. This, to me, is boomified, yet it's a quality, solid image. I love this, and I'll talk about the cropping, because there is no cropping, but I'll talk about the mentality that went behind this, and you'll see some of the other images before it when you get to the editing part at the end. But this, to me, is the winner shot that tells it all. It's a guy, a photographer, on the road with a band, sitting on stage, loving the music, loving what he's doing, loving his job, and I just so happened to capture him between shots, just observing. And that is what I love about it. That, and it's a strong black and white. And then I like this one too, because the smoke machine just went off, I believe, or was going off, or yeah, it just went off. And he's there. It's a vertical. It's a little tighter. You know, you don't have the same sense of the happy joy from there, but you know now he's in the zone thinking about what to capture. So that, and then we end it with something like this, where you have a lot of the band up on the stage. The confetti just went, the smoke just went, and he's got his light up here on a stick, capturing an image. I'll have to check out another days to tomorrow never a day like tomorrow. A day to remember. Okay, got it. A day to remember. I always have trouble with names of the bands like that. But this is that. I like it. So this just gives you the rounded out images. This is what I see. This is what I like. These are the reasons why I do it. Hopefully you enjoy this type of video. But coming up right now, you get to see me edit all 47 of them. And please give me feedback on whether you like this or what would your top 5 be. If you had to pick 5 images, leave me the photo, leave me the numbers. You can see them right here. Just go 015 or whatever. Just give me the file numbers. Even if I didn't pick them as my top 5, which ones would you pick? All right, let's get to that editing part and enjoy. Okay, so you already saw the final images that I selected as my keepers from the shoot with Adam Elamakias, where I went out there to photograph just him. You've already seen those. We've talked about them. But what I want to do here is show you all of the photos that I edited. I believe there were 47 that I selected from the shoot to pare it down to get to however many you already saw. Here's a little secret. I haven't made the first part yet because I want to show you the edits first. But a lot of people want to see how I edit my work. Generally, I would put on some music. I'd put my in-ears in, my Ultimate Ear or whatever. Ultimate Ears just so happen to be what I've got. I would put them in. I'd listen to music, or I'd just put music on the Spotify, and I would just edit. But in this case, I'm just going to talk to you. I may not say a lot, but I'm just going to go through the entire process from start to finish. You can watch my edits and take it out of it as whatever you want. A lot of people have been asking, so I'm going to do that. This, to me, is a black and white image because of the red. People want to know, how do you know what black and white is when you see it? Well, this, you know that the color is terrible. Now, if I brightened it up, like exposure-wise, not so good that way. So we've got black and white. You know me. I go to my contrast. I go to my boomify it like this. But, you know, you lose so much detail in here. But we have the ability with the raw file to go, oh, hello, and look at all of the detail that still maintains in here. What am I at? ISO 5000. He was pretty much in the dark. So that's a stop and a quarter-ish type. But now I'm going to boomify even more. And look at this. Just look at what happened. I said I wouldn't talk too much. But that's where we started already. We went to black and white. We've already made this an image just by going up with the exposure. We boomified it. We went to medium contrast here on the curve. Got a little bit of contrast, not going to overdo clarity. Don't want to do that. That's about right. We got my black levels. I can tweak. I can move them in and out just to where I feel that they're right. I can pump the whites if I really want to, but I don't want to go too far with that. Shadows aren't going to do much on him. They're really just going to play with the background. And if you do that too much, it makes it all distracting. And look at his shirt. So I'm just going to leave this basically where it's at. Highlights. It's probably going to fill in his head. Yep. Don't like it. Do you see how it filled in his head? I don't like it. There's plenty of details still here without having to mess with the highlights. And then this is basically ready to go. I just pumped my contrast all the way up. Let's see what strong would have done. Not terribly too much. Strong, medium. All right. And that is a usable image. He is setting his flash, shooting it in the pit. You'll see what he does with it moving on. But I like that image. Oh, by the way, this was the first image just of the band playing. That's a 14:24 edited, but this is for Adam. Here he is. This is not so good of an image, but maybe it could be interesting. You see, we're in the pit, and there's not a lot of light in there, so I'm just playing around trying to figure out what my exposure should be. I'm at 1/125th of a second at 3.2, 8,000 ISO, 16 millimeters on the 14:24. He's pretty far away from me, but this, we may be able to do something. Look how much data there is with the raw files that you can go up a stop and a half and still have an awesome looking thing. It's still awesome. And most of you guys will notice I don't really go into the noise reduction. I'll show you that later why. So you'll just hear me breathing for the time being because I just want to edit. I don't want to go too far with it. I like it a little bit in there. Got a little bit of this. A little bit of that. Let's see what black and white would be. Let's feel the color just a little bit. He always had a smile on his face, and he wasn't posing for the camera. Well, maybe this one he was. But it was cool that he just did his thing, got in his zone, and I just photographed. See, I'll do it now. Where are we at? Noise reduction. Yeah, that I don't even... Whoa. I guess that's where it's at default. But look at his face. It's not that bad. It you know, makes him glowy McGlowerson, but I'm sure if you tweaked and played around, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, honestly. But I rarely go into here anyway because I'm not going to be zoomed in this far. 32. 0. Let's see what 32 looks like from a distance. From a distance. See, I hate it from a distance because look how his head just smoothed out. It's really not that bad. But I'm just going to go back and stick with my 0 and go from there. It really wasn't that bad, though. So here you can see what he's doing. I captured the flash going off, which is not exactly easy to do in when you're just shooting. Well, when I'm not using a flash. How do you time the flash that he's using? It's pretty crazy. So let's see what works best. I think black and white may do this, but I wish his arm wasn't there. This one blocking his face. It's not that strong of an image, but what makes it stronger is that I have that in there. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, it's not the best of the shots because of his arm blocking his face. Yeah, I don't want the color. For this one, I just don't want the color. All right, we're done with that. This is going to be hard to bring back. This was all the way across the stage with the 7200, so there was smoke, there was everything. This, wait till you see what happens, because I don't know what's going to happen yet. But we're going to tighten it up. Not a lot of color in his face. Maybe it's not even usable, but we'll see. Not too far. Because I just want to get my contrast back. It's not that good of an image to begin with. We won't be able to make that terribly too thick. Oh, here we go. Wow. Don't want to play with the highlights there. Look at the eyes actually making this thing come back. There's so much control that you have here to tweak this. It's amazing that you go from something like this to something like that, that you're able to bring that all into the raw file and give it the contrast and give it the thickness that it needed, at least in my opinion. I'm sticking with this. What is this? 5,000 ISO. Wow. It's just pretty amazing that you can do that, grabbing these curves and futzing around. And yes, I do futz around. There's some people that yell at me and say, oh, you just go into an image and all you do is move sliders until you see something you like. Okay. I do. I know what I'm looking for in my mind, and then I start tweaking the sliders to figure out what works for me. So that's what I do. That's why the sliders are there. Why would I have to know the exact route that I'm going to go without trying to move some things and experimenting and see what works? Being able to bring this file back that is a waste of a file because of this, the haze and the contrast and lack of contrast, just because cutting through the light from so far away with a 70 to 200, and then to be able to do that to the image is pretty freaking amazing. You got to thank the raw file for that. And Lightroom. All right, now we've got that. What else could we do? Shadows don't really matter. I don't really want to tweak with the highlights. I think we're there. I've achieved the thickness that I was looking for. You know what? I'm going to do away with this image because these are two basically the same. And if you see here, you don't see the camera, and here you do. So goodbye, Yellow Brick Road on that one. And let's see what we can do with this. Done. Just kidding. His head is really, if he had some hair, it wouldn't be so bad that it glows, because look at that. Maybe this is time to bring the highlights back in. See that? Brought the highlights back in so his head's not as reflective. We're going to play with these colors to make sure that we get this to a place that is acceptable, or just go to black and white, which is probably what's going to happen. You know, I could pull back on the vibrance. Nope. Saturation. Nope. It's just telling me to go black and white is what it's telling me. Going black and white. And for once, the highlights don't look terribly too fake. Yeah, there's that. Too much. Like this. Let's see what some shadows do without ruining. See how the background, you see up in here? Up in here, up in here. All right. You see how when you do that, you introduce more grain, especially at 6400. But I'm liking what's going on down here. I'm liking that we've got a little bit of everything that we need in this shot. I want to attain some different things. To me, it's a little flat on the contrast because of the highlights, but in this case, they're necessary to get the veins and to get the detail that's in there. Again, you got to remember that he's not in the light. Nobody is focusing their light on him. He's just going around getting shots, and I'm just sitting there and trying to capture him doing his thing. And I'm going to leave it at this. Not the best of the best of the best. I don't like this one either. So if I don't like something, I mean, this one is much easier to bring back. I'll edit it anyway, and this one we'll leave in color. Introduce some green tint. See what we got with our yellows. Let's just see it for fun. Which way? Which way do you guys like? The black and white or the color? All right, we're going to go with that for now. Brighten up this for just a smidgen. Don't really need that. Let's see what the highlights do here. Too much. I like it because there's detail on his face. I don't care that his head is totally blown out. That's his fault for not having hair. But the detail right here is what I'm looking for, so I'm going to keep it. Super duper slow shutter speed, 1/4 of a second, going for some motion. Just something totally different. Let's see what we come up with. Just totally different. It's just something totally different. You never know. Maybe he'll like it. All right, so these are basically the same. So there's no need to have both of them. Which one do I like better? First one. I just liked his hand position better. Whoop, changing the color. Let's see, how does he look in black and white looking at me? I may be feeling the color on this one. Just that blue hue that's going into it. Oh, by the way, this is 20,000 ISO. That's right. That says 20,000 because there was no light. Boom. No, black and white is funny. It introduces more. It looks like it introduces more noise. Possible I could get rid of that too. All right, let's go with that. Don't want to introduce you. See, dropping the shadows. See, how they bring out the grain there. If I just drop them, I'm not really losing much from the image. I'm going to go with that. Then what I can do here is I can sync the next few because they're basically the same and then correct them independently. I'm not feeling the black and white on them. I'm not feeling them very much, but totally. These are tough shots in the dark. I love the distractions in the foreground. This was a ball blowing up that he's going to be riding in. Wow, that's a lot of noise. Holy moly. 20,000 ISO. No. It just makes it look out of focus when you start playing with that stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know it takes a while to get through this. That's why it's at the end, so you've already seen the images and decided if you wanted to stay around and just see how this stuff, the mental thing that's going through the brain. So yeah, the lead singer is going to end up getting in here. This is Adam right here. Again, I have to get different light on him, and the stage already has the stage lights. And yes, that's toilet paper. Wish I had a little more light on him. I mean, obviously I can do stuff like that, but I don't want to lose it. I like that. We're just going to go with it. Now he's taking, you can see what he's doing. I don't need to explain it. Obviously, much better light because he's standing right in it now. I'm at 10,000, but I didn't need to be that high. It's just that the lights kept changing. And when the lights keep changing, you change with them. Black and white's not going to be the way. I like the color. I do like the black and white, too. And I liked it with more of the yellow, or as the older people say, yella. I don't like getting the highlights too far in his head. Too blue, just right. All right, we'll go with that for that one. Not a good one, because you don't really get much of him shooting. I'm just fast-forwarding through a little bit. Let's do away with that. Do away with that, because really it's just a guy leaning over. We'll go with this, because it's cool to have the guy in the ball in the picture. It's just a cool shot. Okay, we got to be careful here. Do some of that. Do some of that. I don't think black and white is going to do justice here. Man, it's always so tough to decide. But for time purposes, I'm going to stick with... See, now this is where your shadows can actually come into play if you wanted to get more of the background going. We got that. We got some of that. We got a little bit of that. Boom. All right, good. This could be similar, so because it's... I'll just sync the settings and see how we do. A little too bright. Did my exposure change? Or did the lights change a little bit? Ah, I'm getting the reflection off the ball. Okay, now I'm going with black and white for this one. Yes! Thickness black and white, I love you. So this is a day to remember. Okay. Back focus? Anybody? Looks like it. So I say goodbye to you, Mr. Back Focus. Probably won't need to edit all of these because they are very similar. See how it tightens up? That is why I do contrast, because I like when it tightens up. And yes, I do crush my levels quite often, but I'm okay with that, personally. All right, we got that. So the next couple I can futz with. Wow, what a difference. See how the light just changes? Let's see, what's better? I can just see this image is pretty much the same. So because it's the same, I do away with it. Unbelievable how much the color changed from one to the next. Yeah, that's cool. He stays the same. I don't really have to change terribly too much. All right, that's about thick enough. Doing away with that one. I'm doing away with that one too. This is good because of the smile. Where are we at? 10,000. Here we go. Boomify, says the man right there. See that? Just comes to life. Ooh, ooh. That, you know what I'm saying. Just thickness. Okay, I'll just take it all the way up because beautiful smile. So most of these are the same. And they're all about similar. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. Go highlight those, hit sync, boom. Yeah, very similar. Looking into it, that from a distance, this time you get most of the band in there. All right, I'm not doing that one. I'm not doing that one. The reason I'm not doing those, they were contemplative. They didn't really seem good. This is closer. Let's see if we want to do the black and white for this as well. Same exposure? No, it's a different exposure, but let's see what happens. No, I'm just going to start from 0 on this because it's a little too much. I mean, what am I supposed to do with a shot at 32,254? You can see there's absolutely zero light on him, but let's see what happens when we bring it. Ugh. Hello, Swiss cheese. I mean, you're not going to use it. It's just one of those things. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Out in the front of the house, I have an idea for a black and white for this. It's funny, my idea for the black and white is some of you sitting out there are probably the same idea for all my black and whites. There, we just brighten that up a little bit. Go there. We got that. There's just more of the focus to come on his eye right here. You know, because that's what we got right there. What are we at? 5,000. Wow. Unbelievable, interesting color. Boom. Tighten it up. Just let me know if you guys like me to do these long edits, just where you get to see everything. I'm not going to obviously sit there and do it first to make you sit through everything, but I've already done the one images, and now you get to see the process. If you like it, let me know. I'll keep doing it, because if I'm editing anyway, I might as well record it, and you can watch the images, and I can tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and just take whatever information you want from it. I don't mind making them, because I'm already editing, and I like to talk. So we'll go with that. This is pretty much the same. A little bright. Just bring it right down and look at that. Really nice on the face. And I already edited this one. This is one of the harder ones to edit. It took me a while. You can see the settings over here. This is where it started. It was close to a good exposure. Composition-wise, somebody said a little bit of a Dutch angle, but absolutely not. It's straight. This is still straight. It's just the way that the 24 to 70 is here. And plus just the lines, because it gives it that perception that I'm not straight on because of the way that you can see the stage down here in the corner. But I loved this shot because it's him smiling, he's holding his camera, he's on stage watching the band, and then boom, really thick black and white. I love the background with the smoke and the lights and the people and then the focus on him. I did look at shooting it tighter because I did shoot some other ones that were slightly tighter, as you'll see. You can see that I started to fill the frame a little more here, but again, because I don't crop, this is where it's going to live, and I'm happy with it because I'm definitely happy with it. So let's see how these look syncing the same settings to see if they can do the same thing. They're not as good. Reset this one. I like it. I like that one. Not going to use this one. And let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. There's just not as much light in the face. But we still may be able to work with this. But you can see what's happening to the background. Watch what we do with the highlights. You can bring that back. And it's not that distracting. It's less distracting now because it's not as bright. So we'll do that. I want to get some more kick up in his face. Boom. A little bit of the clarity. I sound like Bob Ross right now. I'm going to do a little bit of the happy clarity followed by some whites. Let's see that? How many stops we're up? Almost 2 full stops. Still maintaining the quality of the image here at 5,000 ISO. Yes, that's called grain. I don't mind the grain. And remember, it's zoomed in 1:1. But here's what would happen. It's not terribly too bad. I'm just going to stick with my guns and not have any of the noises reduction. Okay, smoke was going off on the stage. Here's Adam on the stage. It's hard. You got to make your own contrast here. You really do because of the way that the lighting is. That's the sound the noise makes of the CO2. That doesn't do terribly too much. There we go. Brighten them up a little bit with the shadows there, and it's not detracting from the image. Like that. Let's get some whites up in there. Boom. Let's go a little more with the exposure. See what we've got here with his face. I don't want to go too far. That was too far back. It's about right. Unbelievable when you change white balance in black and white. Go with something like that. I can live with it. Something similar. Yeah, see, that's nice. See, a little wider. That's filling the whole frame, but again, without cropping, I just pulled back. This is 36 millimeters. That's 55 millimeters, and I love the contrast on his noggin right here. Nice separation. This time, I like the light. Really feeling this one. So I'm going to spend more time. When I feel it, I spend more time on the image because it deserves it. All right, this is linear. Strong. Oh, I guess I could have done that with some other images too. So many independent controls that you have. I'm feeling it. I like it. Here he is. He's doing his pole thing. Definitely going to be a black and white because of the magenta on his face. Nope. I don't like it because it loses my contrast. So much control you have. No, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. I could do a little bit of that because it's not taking what I'm looking at him the whole time. I'm making sure that the highlights aren't really messing with the main subject here, which they're not, and it's actually bringing this back over here, which helps. Because that light is obviously distracting. So you can just tweak it. We'll go with that. Now you've got streamers. They're not the only ones. We gonna go with color? Ooh. Let's see. Obviously, the background stands out more. See the dilemmas here? I'm almost at the end, yet I can't decide. And the funny thing is, when I edit, I'll come back another day, and I may like it color the next day, as opposed to black and white this day. Let's just see if I can tweak the color and get it anywhere mildly realistic. I mean, that's got to be close to realistic. Pull out some of that orange from his head. Black and white. Let's just go with the color. Just going to make that decision right here, right now. About the same image, so let's see how it looks. It looks like we're back. It looks like we're not focused on him, which is crazy. This is shot at 24 millimeters. It's clearly focused somewhere back here on the people. But hey, I'll leave it in there and then tighter. That one we're actually in focus, which is always nice. Do that. Let's go here. Boom. So I wanted to do some wide where I got the whole pole in there, and then I wanted to do some a little tighter where it's just him. And that is where I'm going to stop my editing process. You can go and download or look and do whatever with the full res images that I've uploaded. They're over on the website. You can check them out. I would store them on Flickr. So they're there. So if you want to look at the final images fully uploaded at full res exports, by all means, go ahead over to the website. You can click the link down below and it's there. But this was my day spent with Adam. He was on Raw Talk, and then I went and photographed him photographing a band. And it's cool. It felt great to get out there and have a task of photographing somebody and having an idea of what you're looking to capture when you set out. And what I was looking for was to capture Adam in his environment, photographing and allowing me to capture him photographing everything. So the band was awesome. Went out to dinner with them beforehand. Really good guys. Adam was cool. And that's where we're going to leave it. Hope you guys enjoy this type of video. Please leave me some feedback. I don't know how long is this portion? 31 minutes. If you enjoyed this editing and watching me talk about this stuff, if you enjoy this at all, please leave some comments, and I will try to do more of them, especially if you like them. There you have it. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. If you like this type of video, well, there's more of them. Just go ahead and click up on the screen where it says, click me, hey you, click me. Go ahead, click over there if you want to see another video similar to this one, and or if you'd like to subscribe, that is always welcomed. Please do so. Just click subscribe down on there, and you can do that and get my latest videos as they come out. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you another time.